Welcome to the Footyweight Football Talk Show. This is the fan reaction episode, and it's good to be here today. How you guys doing? Okwe and Daniel.
I'm great. It's always a pleasure to be on Footyweight, especially after an Arsenal victory. So happy to be here.
Yeah,
Daniel.
doing very well. Very pumped. Excited to talk about our main objective today, and show how Arsenal been performing in terms of performance. So yeah, just buzzing to crack on.
Where do we start from? A lot to unpack from the weekend. Manchester United, Resurgence, gets into the third position of the EPL. Aston Villa drop into the fourth position. And I think I saw something somewhere where somebody mentioned this is typical Unai Emery. Starts the season blistering, and when it gets to the middle of the season, it just fizzles out. And when it gets into the close end of the season, he picks the form again. So, in my own opinion, the top 5 battle, yes, because I know 5 teams get to qualify for the Champions League automatically from the EPL, is going to be a race. What do you guys think? Seeing Liverpool coming back, Manchester United Resurgence winning 6 out of 7, and Chelsea dropping to 6th position, while Liverpool and Aston Villa, who knows? Who takes it? What is your say concerning the top 5 battle? Let me start with you, Okwe.
I think first of all, what we're seeing is evidence of the EPL being the most competitive league in the world. I think, for a good number of years, we know that it's the most watched league. But, the truth is that there have been conversations regarding the level of competition, especially when it comes to the European stage. And this season, with the new format of the Champions League in it, I believe this is the second season of the new format of the Champions League. All the English teams qualified for the round of 16. And I think that speaks a lot. And I think that, should I say, verifies UEFA's decision to give 5 spots to England. And I think they are proving UEFA right by doing that. And then, we can see that in the title race as well. We can see that with the race for qualification for Europe. You already touched on Unai Emery, who honestly probably does not have what it takes to have a very, very successful team. He was decent at PSG because, with all due respect to League On, he's known as the Farmers League, and it was quite easy for him. He had the tools and he got it done. But
did he win the league with PSG?
He did. He did win the league with PSG. He did.
Did he?
I
think that was when. Was that not when Leo won the league?
No, actually, it was after Emery left that Leo won the league.
Check that.
Yeah, they won the league, and then also during Pochettino's season, I think Lille won the league again, if I'm not mistaken. But Unai Emery was fantastic with PSG, except in the Champions League anyway. Obviously, he was the manager when Barca had that crazy remontada. But
Champions
now
League.
I'm wondering what the likes of Sunday Olise and the other Emery lovers are saying now, because they've always said he's a great tactical manager, he's this, he's that. But hey, you're in the Premier League where it matters the most, and you seem not to be coming up with goods. So for me, I think there are 2 things involved for Aston Villa. Unai Emery is a factor. I think sometimes he makes rash tactical decisions in games, and then I don't think the squad is strong enough to actually compete. Because if you want to compare Villa to the likes of Arsenal, Manchester City, the truth is that they don't have a strong squad. But I don't blame them, because not every team has the capacity to have a strong squad. And Villa is also trying to be safe in the financial aspect. So they are in a tough position, that's just the truth. And I think they're even overachieving, in my opinion. So for me, I think Villa is in a good place, if you ask me. Manchester United, I think we need to speak about them. I think Michael Carrick has done a fantastic job since he took over. He's yet to lose a game. He has only drawn 1 game. Some will argue that, yes, they are just competing in the Premier League. But hey, it's not like it's easy to compete in the Premier League. And when you take a look at the games that they've played, they've been impressive. I think a lot of Man United fans will probably be hurling insults and curses on Ruben Amorim, who put them in bondage.
Man.
So I think they'll be happy to see that the team is actually capable of playing good football. And that's what we've seen under Michael Carrick. But most importantly, there's that belief in them. Because when you're taking a look at the creation of chances, the forwards are being more confident now. Take a look at Benjamin Sesko. He's getting into good form. Brian Mbeumo too has been consistent for them all season. Kobe Mano now is back in the frame. So,
I'm
you know,
playing
United
well.
are
I'm
looking,
playing
yeah,
good.
they're doing
Yeah.
well. They're playing good. And I think United look impressive. I think if Michael Carrick is given the job and given the money to get the players he wants, I think he can do something good with Man United. And then with Liverpool, I think it's just been a story of inconsistency. The same thing with Manchester City this season. But I'm sure these teams have enough experience to gather some level of momentum, discipline, and wins going into the business end of the season because they've been there before. So obviously, it's left to Arsenal to keep on getting their 3 points and to ensure a title for the first time in 22 years for themselves. But it's looking really good right now in the EPL. I think all the games are highly unpredictable and you are just there for entertainment. Anybody can beat anybody. So I think we're having a very exciting title running and a very exciting race for Champions League football as well.
Daniel, who do you think drops off for the race for the top 5? Saying Chelsea is down already in 6th position. It's Arsenal, Man City, Manchester United, Aston Villa, Liverpool, and Chelsea. And, you know, these 3 teams, Chelsea, Manchester United, these 4 teams, Chelsea, Manchester United, Liverpool, and Aston Villa still has to play each other one way or the other, and points still get dropped. Chelsea would play both Manchester clubs at Stamford Bridge, plays Aston Villa on Wednesday. Manchester United still has to play Liverpool and Chelsea, and Liverpool still has to play Manchester United and Liverpool. Or is it Aston Villa as well? Who knows? But in your own take, who do you think drops off the top 5, the remaining 10 games to go?
Yeah, I believe Chelsea will, because they have not shown the mentality this season to stay up in terms of, getting silly red cards, letting unnecessary comebacks. In their recent games, a lot of times they've had that. Yesterday as well, they did not really have a clear style of play as opposed to Manchester United. Because one thing Carrick has done for United right now is giving them something to hang their hats on. They have a style of play. They know it's fast. They know it's quick. They know it's playing in tight spaces and causing something to happen, causing havoc. For Liverpool, I believe Liverpool have the players to do it. I mean, you can't spend maybe $500 million like they have, and then don't make Champions League. So they have what it takes. And Villa, this is where Unai shines when no one is watching, because now he's no longer in the title race. Now it's just top 4. So now you see Unai playing what he wants to play. And I think the Villa players as well were feeling the pressure of title race, because you could see Rodgers in a way has dipped. If you look at their midfield, has not really been stable, towards the business end of the season. So I think Chelsea just, they lack in that part, because I don't see Reece staying fit throughout the running. And that's a very important player for them, because if you watch the game yesterday,
it was fantastic yesterday. It was fantastic yesterday.
So
against Arsenal.
And his fitness too will be a problem. And they have, I think they have a tougher running, and they don't really have the depth to squad to do that. You see the way United are playing, they're not playing like a team that really gets injuries. They're playing a bit more like a second game most of the time. They don't run every single time. But Chelsea, you see that aggressiveness, and it looks like it's just a matter of time before someone gets an injury and, it is done for them. So I think they will do well to enjoy Europa next season.
I wish the Chelsea guys were here to defend their club, but hopefully we're expecting Chimamaka and Tijani. But Margaret joins us. She's the Manchester United fan. How you doing? Good to have you back on the show. Can you hear us?
Hey. Hi, guys. Good evening. Hope you guys can hear me.
Yes, we can hear you. How you doing?
I'm fine. It's been a while.
Been a while. Welcome back to the show. We were talking Manchester United. So let us hear from you. Do you think Manchester United should keep Michael Carrick? Seeing his unbelievable run in the past 7 games, 6 wins, 1 draw. I think he picked up 11 points behind Aston Villa, behind Unai Emery. And in the last 7 games, he has usurped. I think they are tied on the same points, actually, but goal difference ahead of Aston Villa. As a Manchester United fan, do you think, seeing the resurgence, should Michael Carrick be handed over the job?
Well, I think for now it's actually too early for that. It's just 7-6 games. into his tenure as United manager, but I just think it's just too now. Sometimes we get carried away with the whole wow, we're winning games and all of that. It's just early for now. Let's see how the season ends. Let's see where United will end. Let's see if they will qualify for the Champions League first before we now conclude as okay, Michael Carrick deserved the job. But for now, let's just enjoy the moment. Let's not talk about because sometimes that puts pressure on the manager, on the man, and then before you know start misbehaving. So for now, I think let's just enjoy the moment. We shouldn't be talking about if Carrick should keep the job or not.
Well, it's inevitable. Whether you want to talk about it now or talk about it in the next 10 games, because Manchester United have 10 more games to complete their 40 games. No, how many games are they going to play this season? Yeah, 40 games, right? Am I right or am I wrong? I know there was a meme. Manchester City.
It's 28 games already.
I think it's 10 games yet for them. I think it's 10 games.
So 10 games.
10 games is actually huge.
No, I think there was.
Sorry, you have a style of play, so I think you have something to hang your hat on. So I think Carrick can submit the CV and be like, yeah, I think I've done well. Because if you look at it, this is not just new manager bounce anymore. And I keep going back to something style of play. That is the most important thing when it comes to any manager. You want to see a clear identity of what he's trying to do. Under Amorim, they did not have that, but right now under Carrick, they have that, and let's see over the next 10 games what he's going to do. When players start picking up injuries as well, let's see how he handles it. When the pressure gets in there.
But this, I just want to be clear of something. Yeah, Amorim did. Amorim, yes, everybody now because Michael Carrick is doing very well. Everybody are now giving Amorim the call him the bad guy and all of that. But I feel that if there is one thing Amorim did at Man United, it is something like made the players feel like, hey, you are not bigger than the club. If there is for anything, but for that particular thing that he did at that club, I'm actually so grateful. Let's leave the other ones. Yes, they said he had no direction. I don't want to believe that he had no direction. I just feel that he has the same a style of play that he feels that with time, United will get used to it. Remember when he came in, he said something that the club will suffer. I think people are actually misinterpreting the whole sufferness thing. He said, it's going to take time for them to get used to his style of play. And if they are patient enough, if the club is patient enough, they're going to see something good coming from that. But because typical United, we're not patient. They said you have to go. But like I said, I actually respect him for that particular thing of players will not be better than the club because we how they acted with Garnacho, with Rashford, and all of that. By the way, we're not actually talking about in per se, but just bringing a little bit thing. So I know that Carrick, we've seen how Carrick plays. We'll see what he's doing with Man United right now, but it's still not enough for us to start. Let's just, to me, I just want to enjoy the moment. I want to enjoy every match. I want to enjoy every 3 points. We shouldn't be talking about who's going to take over, if Michael Carrick. We shouldn't say that for now, please.
See, Maggie, I don't blame you. You don't take where you taste victory. So I understand. You need to enjoy it.
Oh my God.
Enjoy it while it lasts. Enjoy it while it lasts.
Really? Don't worry.
For me.
By the way, watch your back. 10 points is not small. 10 points is nothing.
Here we go. The Manchester United fans.
Seriously, it was the red card that made them win this weekend. Without the red card, they will have suffered it. So I don't know where that is coming from. Claiming they want to catch us.
Do you know you would have scored more goals without the red card? Sometimes it's actually more difficult playing 11. I mean, playing against 10 men.
It's more difficult. You think so?
Yeah.
you think the red card came up yesterday?
I like
You
when
guys
the game is even. Let's play, okay, man to man. Not like one man is missing, and because of that, you won't tell me that was the reason why. Moreover, I think that was the first penalty United had this year. If I'm not, someone should get me like.
You guys had one. You had one against Fulham.
I
Was it
mean,
Fulham?
this year, 2026.
Yeah, Carrick's reign. I remember that game.
Yes.
They're not winning against Fulham.
Oh, they've not. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it was given as a penalty, but it was called back. It was called back. It was called back.
Yeah.
I remember.
Oh, you see, it's not like we've been winning with penalties, so let's enjoy the moment.
But it's good for football. Seeing Manchester United come back, Manchester United resurgence. But like Daniel said, 10 games to go. This is where the pressure sets in. There is a Champions League qualification, and Manchester United still have some tricky games. They play Newcastle at St. James's Park on Wednesday. And it's a tricky game. St. James Park is a very tricky. It's not a place anybody wants to go to. For me, as an Arsenal fan, I'm so happy we ticked that fixture away from the very beginning. Seriously, because it's not a place you want to go to. And you can see they've been in bad form recently. They lost against Everton at home, their last game, and I'm sure they want to bounce back. But we want to see Manchester United. The credibility Carrick has put back into the team. Everybody now looks at Manchester United as a team that is back. But let us switch gears, right? And let's talk about the game that happened between Arsenal and Chelsea. There were a lot of controversial calls. Some Chelsea fans were moaning that there were some calls that didn't come their way. The Declan Rice's handball, the corner kick, where he was holding Chalobah. Was it Chalobah he was holding? That the ball touched his hand. Yeah. And the red card to Pedro Neto. I have my opinion about that card because I feel I don't want to preempt anybody, but I'm going to give my take on Pedro Neto's sending off. But looking at the game holistically, globally, Arsenal again almost shot themselves in the leg and almost gave a 10-man Chelsea a route back into that game. What a save by Raya. But let me allow you guys to do justice. Raposo, welcome to the show. Daniel, you want to go first?
Good evening, everyone.
Your reaction to the Chelsea-Arsenal game yesterday at the Emirates.
Yeah. I think the game was a bit of how I expected it to be a bit cagey at the beginning. But we had a lot of chances, we could have been 3 goals up at halftime, but we're not clinical enough. For some reasons, I've noticed that we're not as clinical as we were in previous season in terms of chances. We're letting a lot of things go. If you go back to the game at Brentford, the games at Wolves, at Wolves, you could see that we're missing a lot of big chances. Same yesterday as well. We're not very clinical in goal. It felt like sometimes we lack discipline in the game, and we're running back into some of our old habits. Similar to what we did in Wolves, where we just sat back. After we scored the 2 goals from set pieces, it was 2-1. I noticed that the players gave up. Come on, you're 10. You're playing against 10 men. Show some character. Show that you want to control this game. For some reason, we could not really, control the game. Zubomendi as well yesterday was not really doing his job as he should. Maybe I kind of understand that a bit run to the ground right now, but big thumbs up to Raya yesterday. Raya was so important to what we did. If not, it was people were ready. People were so ready to to run in on us and make it look horrible. But I think these players are experiencing something I would see as the pressure of winning your first title. I think this is normal. Like you've not won it at all. Everyone looking at everybody's talking every single time. It's like everyone, especially the guys at Sky Sports, are expecting us to drop points every single game. Like I was watching one show before this. They were talking about predictions for the Arsenal game Chelsea. Roberto Martinez was like Arsenal 1-1 carrying everyone won. The same for Postcodes. It's like these guys, they have a big impact on football and they don't know. When they talk, I'm sure the families of the players they hear it as one of the players, they see the coach as well. So the pressure is on the players. And I think why we are saying this is because this is kind of our first time, in this. But I think if we can win this season, I think we'll see more free-flowing football. That mentality would improve, So and the fans as well. I think it was quite horrible yesterday, and I'm happy that he noticed it as well, where you could see that the stadium got so heavy. And I understand, but in games like this, we need the fans to be the 12th man, to push the players on, carry them on. So I think the Arsenal fans in the stadium need to do a bit more, and then we can be a better team going forward.
To be fair, the fans played the part in the first half, but like you said, getting into the dead end of the second half, I think at a point the entire Emirates was kind of like mute, waiting for disaster to happen. Well, I wasn't there, but watching from home, that was how I felt. Maybe anybody who is there can tell us what really happened. But Raposo, was that would you take the ugly win, get the 3 points, get the job done, or would you take the beautiful football and drop points? Where do you stand? Because yesterday Arsenal were mesmerizing in the first half, like Daniel said. Gyökeres, had a chance to square the ball. The pass from Trossard when Arsenal intercepted the ball when we were 3 against 2, and that pass, lovely interception by Caicedo, because if he had not intercepted that pass, it would have been 3-on-1. And we saw a couple. Timber had the chance to shoot. I don't know what happened to him. He couldn't shoot. So a couple of chances. We could have been 2-3 up in the first half, but big up to Chelsea. They came back, they fought, they dug deep, they got the corner kick, scored 1-1, put the pressure back on Arsenal. Arsenal too, scored from, it was yesterday, corner kick tactics to the very it was corner kicks. But what you take, a lot of Arsenal fans, some are moaning that wasn't a good performance. Chelsea played better, Chelsea dominated despite one man down. But what you take? Do you care if it's good football,
to be honest,
drop points, or ugly football, 3 points?
To be honest, I'd rather play the ugliest of football right now in the league. Just get it done. 3 points is what I need, Another thing most people don't understand is we've seen it from the beginning of this season and towards the end of last season. Once any team is facing Arsenal, it's always a low block galore. So if you notice, our Champions League games are always different. The teams in Europe, that is only if we get to meet an English team in the Premier League, in the Champions League now. But so far, our Champions League games have been more open. Our players have a way of, being more explorable. And the only team I feel we had that chance against in the Premier League has been Tottenham. We've had that, a bit of trying to nick the ball, put the high pressure on them from the midfield, nick the ball. But every other team we have played to an extent have been able to keep us at bay, give us that low block thing. And we were actually very wasteful too in the first half. Very, very wasteful. Like Daniel said, we should have been 3-0 up as at first half. That one, there's no doubt about that. Another thing is they were jittery in the sense that, getting the ball, nicking the ball from the Chelsea fans. There's a thing we were doing in the first half. We were pressing high, getting the ball. But, all we needed to do was anybody that gets that ball, hold it for 2 seconds. Do you understand? Be able to scan your players and release the pass. So we were doing something where we were nicking the ball, but we were passing it too early. You understand? Like you mentioned the Trossard pass that happened in the midfield. He got the ball clearly. All he needed to do was run a bit. Just take 2 steps before you release it to Saka or anybody. But he wanted to, make a quick pass. And so, they allowed Chelsea come back into the game, towards the end of the first half, because it was also clear that Chelsea couldn't do anything from open play. They couldn't. It was very clear. João Pedro was locked out. You understand? He tried his best, but Gabriel, obviously. So it was very clear that all they needed to do was that Reece James corner. Reece James has the technical ability to, flipping crosses like that. Yeah, do you understand? Yeah. So when you have someone like that, they have to play to his own strength. If you notice it towards the end of first half, they were looking for corners and they got them and they were able to, get a goal from one of them. But I would say all round, a lot of people, a lot of punters, a lot of pundits, a lot of ex-footballers, have been clamoring that, Arsenal has been playing ugly football, this and that. I will just say something to them. They just need to pipe low, to be honest. One thing with football, and the rule of football is either you draw, you lose, or you win. Do you understand? We've seen a game where I think in the past, I don't know if it was Liverpool, scored about 3 penalties in a game. Do you understand? It came their way. Against West Ham, they scored how many corners or scored from how many set pieces. So Arsenal has actually, won more games this season from open play goals than set pieces. But when you play teams where you have the old defense, you have the man marking, you understand. There's no free flowing football to that extent. You need to use what you can use, and I like the fact that all the goals yesterday came from corners. So if Chelsea wanted to play good football, break us down and score from open play. You understand? We were the ones that were meant to score from open play because we had those chances, but we didn't convert them. You understand? So a lot of Paul Scholes, Gary Neville, Carragher. I saw something about Schmeichel too. All of them just saying so many things. So we just
the United Champions League stuff that happened in '99. Man U Bayern, where they scored from a corner.
Bro, from 2 corners. So I don't know why Schmeichel was against corner kicks. Like it is football. That's why I like what Alan Shearer said. He said the what do you call it now? The value or the standard of football for some teams has actually dropped across Europe. He mentioned PSG, he mentioned Barcelona, he mentioned Real Madrid. The only teams that he said were still a bit, and in the Premier and for the Premier League, the only teams that are a bit, keeping that standard has been Arsenal and City picking up. He said something about maybe the Club World Cup has affected teams, the run of games, the players are a bit, you understand? Yeah, too many games, players are tired and all that. But when I hear so many of them saying, we are doing the ugly style, we're playing corners, I'm like, come on, set pieces have always been part of football. We only left it to Stoke City and Wigan and co because we felt those guys were the lower tier teams. They couldn't, they didn't have those kind of players that could stay on the ball and do their thing. But when you have the Premier League teams that have actually locked out the guys that come out to play football, and they've turned everything to a defensive setup, these coaches have to come up with something.
Mid-blocks and
look at
low-blocks.
the set piece. And the set piece routines, to be honest, they are smart. They're not putting the ball in random places. They are putting the ball in specific areas. So if you are not smart enough, see what Everton tries to do.
The whip from Declan Rice.
Bro, those crosses are evil. Even that Resurgence cross. That one that Raya had to save. Those crosses are not. They're not just crosses that you just put in anyhow. They have their specific.
They are with
positions.
evil intentions. Evil
I'm telling
intentions.
You, when Everton played against United, they tried to do it, but they couldn't do it well. Why? What they were doing was they were bombarding the keeper, and they just kept running around him, trying to distract him, but they were not getting the crosses in the right places. So United was able to, either parry it out or nod it out. But when you are putting it at the far post, or it's something that needs a lot of thought process. But let's just leave the haters to their words, because that's what I call them at the moment. Scholes and the likes. To be honest, I don't really care about them. They can say all they want to say.
Your legends.
Yeah, they can say all they want to say. It's their luck. Like Rooney said something. He said Arteta can be mad. He used the word mad about his decisions and tactics, but he said he really loves Arteta and he wants Arsenal to win it. That's someone that is watching football from a plain perspective, and he has seen that this guy performs in Europe. We score open play goals. We didn't against Inter Milan. We didn't have to do this. We scored open play goals. So,
but to be fair,
three
games before the Chelsea games against Tottenham, all the 4 goals were open play goals.
Yeah, we didn't have to depend on
against Wolves. Against Wolves, both goals were open play goals.
Yeah,
against Brentford, it was an open
even
play
yesterday,
goal.
If not because our boys were just wasteful, we would have beat these guys like 5-1. All this noise that they are making now, they'll calm down.
I know one thing. Roberto Martinez said something. He said, when you speak
I'm coming to you, please.
Yeah, sorry.
Okay, yeah, Daniel, we can hear you now.
European coaches, that Arsenal are the main deal, they're the real deal right now in Europe in terms of the players, the quality of football. But when you come to the Premier
I saw
League,
that interview.
And you see how we play. The Premier League is not physical. You see players sitting back. Sometimes I watch maybe a game against City for other teams, and you see how they play. But when it comes to Arsenal, it feels like they have 5 players sitting at the back.
Bro, something else, man.
Exactly. You need to capitalize on the set piece. So that's the way of scoring. And we need to, if anyone owns the company, you want to see how you can optimize and do better as a company. So you
use your strengths and you get your results.
Exactly. So when he was signing 6'4" players or 6'3" players, he knew what he was doing. He knew what he was doing.
There's a reason.
And everyone saw it. Yeah. So they need to just go back home and do their own homework. Maybe go and get 7-foot players into their team or something. Because United as well.
Or if they want to play football, they should come out and play football with us.
Exactly,
They should come out.
exactly.
Let us play free-play football.
Yeah.
Let's play. And for Zubimendi, we need to warn Zubimendi. Oh, I beg. I don't really get why he's always so nervy.
I was telling someone this morning that if Arteta were to be in front of me, if he was sat in front of me, or he's standing in front of me, the question I'm going to ask him is, please tell me, what do you see in Zubimendi that we don't see? Really, because yesterday, I don't want to go into the tactics for this show because it's going to take us a lot to digress the conversation. But there were some things I saw Zubimendi doing wrong yesterday as a midfielder. But hopefully one of these days we'll talk about it. But Okpe, Raposo mentioned about Arteta. Margaret, I'm coming to you as a neutral. There is a question about Arsenal that I want to ask.
I want to just quickly say something about Zubimendi. Man, why are you guys tired of him now? I remember when they were talk about Arsenal signing Zubimendi, he's going to go to Arsenal the next season. Man, like social media, I don't think. Okay, let's say Twitter. I know what a lot of Arsenal fans did. They're like, oh man, he's going to hear EPL apart and all of that and all of that. I'm surprised if people are sitting down here asking, questioning his integrity.
No, we're not questioning his integrity. No, we're not.
That's not the case. If you make mistakes,
not the case.
Now it's normal.
Questioning his ability.
We're not questioning his ability.
We're not. The point is,
he's been wonderful for us this season.
Exactly, he has been wonderful this season.
Yeah, but you just said there is something that Arteta is saying in it that you guys are not saying.
In the context of yesterday's game, because in the context of yesterday's game, Zubimendi seemed. I'm trying to look for the right words to use. He looked lost, most especially when Rice was substituted. When Rice was substituted and Nugget was brought into the game. Nugget was supposed to be a screen for the defense, right? And I didn't know why Zubimendi was hiding yesterday. In my own opinion, he was hiding. Could it be the pressure of the game? Could it be adaptability? Could it be adaptability? Let's not forget, this is his first season in the EPL. It's coming from a Spanish league, the La Liga, where he plays for Real Sociedad, right? And most of the big games we see in La Liga is Barcelona versus Real Madrid, or Barcelona versus Real Madrid versus Getafe, or Barcelona versus Deportivo La Coruña. Real Sociedad, I don't know who their rival is in the Spanish La Liga, but
Bilbao.
So most of the I don't think he faces most of all these big games. You could see Arsenal, the games we've played in the last four games. There's the London derby against Brentford, North London derby against Tottenham, also the London derby against Chelsea. So these are big games back to back. So I am not surprised that Zubimendi at this moment is hitting a brick wall. I am not. It's expected. But the question I said I was going to ask Arteta was, in the context of yesterday's game, Zubimendi should have been substituted, in my personal opinion, because the team lost.
I
there was no security. There was no security in the midfield. Immediately, Rice stepped out. There was no player who could take the bull by the horn and secure possession for us in the midfield. And Chelsea were all over us.
Immediately Rice was taken out. He actually had to allow Nogard sit in the 4 position, and he was meant to be the box to box.
Simple.
That was what he was meant to do. And I noticed that in against United too. He was always, I don't know, maybe it's about the big team in Liverpool, United, Chelsea. Now, the last Chelsea game he did well. I don't know, but I feel that sometimes, when it comes to football, it happens to some people. It may just be that maybe he made an early mistake and he couldn't just get over it mentally.
He gave the ball away in the first half. He almost gave the ball away in the first half.
So he couldn't just get over it mentally. And it can affect, the game for a while. Sometimes people make mistakes, and before they can get themselves back, it may take a while. So I feel that, also he has actually played a lot of games this season. To be honest with you, he has overplayed. That
was what he was paid for.
No doubt about that. That's why we have a bench. That's why we have the quality. We have the depth. I
this is
don't
the thing,
see no
yeah.
reason why someone like Skelly couldn't come in yesterday and take a position in the midfield. Do you understand? You need a ball carrier. You need someone that they need to foul. You understand? If he wanted to do it, Declan Rice was tired. That's why he came out. So I wasn't surprised. He was really tired. That guy ran. In fact, the first half alone, I could see how he was covering around the whole thing. So someone like Skelly coming in with a nugget, trust me, all we needed to do as when we were leading, just hold the ball, pass it around. Skelly has the
secure the ball. Just ball security.
Taking the ball and driving in. And there was space in that midfield because only this guy, Lavia, came in. Lavia would not do tackles like Caicedo. Caicedo was the only one that could come into tackles, and he was on a yellow card already. So someone like Skelly coming in, he would open up the space for the strikers and the wingers and all that. But Arteta also sometimes he likes to be very careful with things. I've noticed that. And like we said earlier, the fear of winning that first league, breaking that jinx is the major thing. And Vieira has said it. Once they win this one, they'll go on a run. And I'm very sure about that.
Perfect way to segue. Perfect way to segue to Arteta. Okay, I'm coming to you.
Wow.
Yeah. The positive, Margaret, I'm still coming back to you. The positive of yesterday, one of the positive, it seems Arteta owns Chelsea, right? Because as Arteta, I saw one guy's video on X. The guy was ranting that you say we are neighbors. How are we neighbors when you've beat us 10 times? We've not been able to win one out of 10 games, and Arteta has led to the sacking of different Chelsea managers. But that's on a lighter note.
Many managers.
Arteta owns Chelsea. But now let's talk about Arteta.
Currently.
Tactic wise, the remaining 9 games, pressure, seeing Manchester City breathing down your neck. Do you think Arteta got this? Because the reason I'm asking, let me provide context. 2022-2023 season, maybe because we're not experienced, City used that experience over us. 2023-2024 season, we saw the schoolboy error by Arteta. That Aston Villa game was that pivotal game that we lost at the Emirates, where he decided to now play Havertz in the midfield. And Aston Villa came to the Emirates, won us 2-0. And that was the defining game that lost us that league that season, with City winning 2 points ahead of us. Now, this season, have you seen any changes tactically, mentally, psychologically? Do you think Arteta's got this? There are a lot of Arteta outers. A lot of them were not happy with yesterday's victory. A lot of them were moaning and groaning, despite us now picking 3 points. But do you think Arteta has got this? EPL-wise, the remaining 9 games, do you think he has this psychological advantage compared to the previous seasons I've mentioned?
Excuse me. I think that I think he has what it takes, if I'm being honest, because there was one major thing that Arteta was able to do when he took over the club. I think he was able to change the mentality of the players. I think, under Wenger and post-Wenger, I think the Arsenal team was very accustomed to losing games, especially against big teams. I think he changed the mentality of the team in terms of being winners, knowing how to win games in different ways, to be precise, right? However, this season in particular, I think that it's more on the players and less on Arteta. I'm not saying that Arteta has not made mistakes this season, but listening to Jurgen Timber in post-match conference, and for me, I see Timber as one of the most confident players in the team. But for him to actually acknowledge that there's a speck of anxiety in the team, I think it's as real as it gets, because let's not forget that these players are human beings. Sadly, even if you want to impose a social media ban on these players and tell them don't check what people are saying, don't listen to what people are saying, they've got family members, they've got friends. These people can send them the links and let them know what's going on. The truth is that as human beings, sometimes, as confident as you are as an individual, when you are working on something or when you are doing something that you know that you are absolutely the best at, when you hear a weird comment about yourself, if you hear it once, you can shake it off. But if you hear it consistently, and maybe sometimes you are even hearing it from legends of the game, people that have played the game before, or people that you even look up to. The truth is, one way or the other, those thoughts will creep into your mind, and you start analyzing and maybe start second guessing yourself. I think sometimes these Arsenal players have shown that, you know what, it seems to be that the outside noise might have a bit of an effect on them. So I think now it's down to Arteta and the players to say, look, people are going to talk. They would always speak. And if we're being honest, talking about Arsenal gains traction. That's the truth. Coming from me speaking as an individual who is into sports journalism and having a background in marketing and digital marketing as well, I know very well, I can tell a pattern when a brand is trying to use something to drive a narrative. The truth is, the likes of the Sky Sports and co, they know what they are doing. There's a reason why it's Gary Neville in commentary for Arsenal games. There's a reason why it's certain individuals doing punditry for Arsenal games. Because aside the fact that these people are biased sometimes in their analysis, the truth is that some of them say what they say because it's going to drive conversations. Because sometimes I will listen to Jamie Carragher on Sky Sports during the weekend, and I listen to him on CBS during the week. It's like
completely different.
He's got two different heads. So the truth is that, look, these people know what they are doing. Talking about Arsenal is sure money, and they will say any and everything to undermine Arsenal. And the truth is that there's also the other human factor, which is these people have been accustomed to Arsenal being bottom barrel. They've been accustomed to Arsenal always being the laughing stock. Arsenal is no longer the laughing stock, and they can't take it. They need a laughing stock. Spurs is not good enough. Spurs does not even give them that energy. Spurs is just
the joy.
Do you understand? So they're not even giving them that bite because Spurs don't have the type of fans that Arsenal fans do have. So look, the players need to really, really work on it in terms of the mental aspect and just lock in and just say, you know what, irrespective of what I'm listening to outside, I'm going to do well. For Arteta, I think he needs to be less pragmatic. You know, the funny thing was that he has toned down. But you see, Arteta is a very stiff man. He has toned down. He has even, honestly, I even give him kudos for this season. His man management this season and squad management this season, big ups to him. He has done very well for Mikel Arteta that we know. Let's be honest. But I need him to relax. I need him to take it up a notch. I need more rotation. Play Norgard more in this game. The issue with Zubimendi for me, which I love the fact that Raposo and Daniel have touched on it. Let me just, I'm not going to repeat what they've said, but let me just give an example to just buttress their points. Prior to coming to the Premier League, the most high intensity game that Martin Zubimendi ever played was the 2022 EuroLeague final when he came up from the bench to replace Rodri, and he only played 45 minutes. It was a game where really he didn't have any pressure because the England team in that final, they were not pressing enough. Zubimendi had a field day in that game. So for me, that's the highest level he has ever played. And now he's just like you said. Look at the big teams that we've played recently. Look at the nature of the games we've played recently. And obviously, judging by that game against Man United, if I'm not mistaken, where Arteta made 4 subs for the first time at 1 goal, Zubimendi has proven to be someone who, when he makes a mistake once, it affects him throughout the course of the game. So they need to address that with Zubimendi. That needs to be addressed. But whenever you see that in him, bring in Christian Norgard. Why else was Norgard brought into the club? And I don't know if you remember this, but I've been saying this for the longest. Ben White is capable of playing in that hole. He has played there before for Brighton and Leeds in the past. So sometimes I don't know why Arteta does not want to experiment in that line. And I actually see Ben White leaving the club after this season because there have been times where I felt Ben White could have come in for Timber. There was a point in time where Timber was not even doing well form-wise. White could have played a lot of games. He's not playing. Raposo mentioned Lewis Kelly. Playing Lewis Kelly in midfield is a no-brainer to me. But look, at the end of the day, Arteta is the manager and he knows because Lewis Kelly was groomed in the academy to play as a midfielder, but he converted him into a fullback to get game time. I understand that. But when we get into crunch time in the season whereby we need certain skill sets, you take out Declan Rice from the team and it seems that there's a huge drop in quality because there's nobody that has similar skill sets to Declan Rice, aside Lewis Kelly. But he never plays Lewis Kelly in midfield. He's always at left back. So I mean, kudos to Arteta and what he has done so far this season. Like I said earlier, but I need him to chill. I need him to be less pragmatic. Let's not
Take the
forget that
handbrake off.
one of the biggest
Yes, sir.
undoings of Pep Guardiola, his mentor, has to be overthinking and overplaying.
Pep
did it to himself.
Guardiola said it in the last press conference that he doesn't give
He only
Arteta any
started
advice
for this
anymore.
Yeah,
He doesn't give Arteta any
want to.
advice. So he's no more his
Yeah.
mentee or protege.
Because
The left
honestly,
side.
Pep is also starting to see some of the flaws in Arteta as well.
Mm.
He knows that Arteta has learnt well from him and probably even upgraded his game past him. But Pep also knows that look, he's what's the word now? He's vulnerable to making some of the mistakes he made. From 2021 to 2023 season, a lot of the mishaps of Man City were down to Pep and his overthinking. I will never forget that before they won the Champions League, that semi-final against Lyon. That Lyon team that had
even the final against Chelsea.
Yeah, even the final against Chelsea.
When he didn't play Rodri.
Exactly. Not playing a recognized DM, playing Gundogan in the hole.
Yeah, as the DM that day.
Rodri wasn't so good then. Rodri just joined City, so I can understand why.
But Gundogan in the DM position that day was not it, because you had someone like Kante
in the Chelsea Gundogan in that position against both Lyon the season before and against Chelsea the next season in the final was disrespect to the opponents. That's actually just the truth.
Yeah,
because it's not like Fernandinho or Rodri were not capable of playing in a final.
There's not
giving him that level of ball progression.
There's not.
Playing the
but just to touch on a point.
You asked a question. Okay. You actually asked a question about if this compared to previous seasons, if Arteta actually have the psychology, if he is actually ready. I mean, if he's actually ready to win the league. See, I must say that, let's leave banting aside, but I feel this Arsenal side, they are more than ready, because Arteta has positioned Arsenal as a serious title contenders. I have seen a more mature, resilient, and tactically versatile Arsenal side. Previous seasons, we also know the usual Arsenal also be playing beautiful football. No doubt they're still playing beautiful football, playing all those beautiful football. But right now, Arsenal, they have this grown-up mentality, like the never say die attitude is actually in them right now. This particular Arsenal player, I think that is what Arteta has done to this side, and that is why they ground out that result no matter anywhere. Let's do it. They call us their corner. Let's use that corner and win. We had Jose Mourinho. Mourinho was using. We all knew him as a packing boss. He doesn't care as far as that one trophy. He was actually okay with that, and I've seen that Arsenal they've also improved head-to-head record. If you look at most games against previous against City, Arsenal has actually neutralized that inferiority to Chelsea, to inferiority whenever they're playing City. It has always been dominating, but right now
Chelsea.
I think in the last 6 or so competitive meetings between Arsenal and City, there's I think the winless or so. Arsenal actually have upper hand, and I don't think
City has not won us since that last time they won us 3-1 at the Emirates, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. So there's actually some.
I think we went to their own and we lost.
And we lost 3-1. Yeah.
Some changes and everything. So many things. Their dominance is set piece. You've seen it in Arsenal. So I just feel that this Arsenal side are actually ready. What Arteta has built, Arteta is like showing everyone that look, this is not the Arsenal people we're talking about anyhow. This is an Arsenal side that is ready and they have that never say die. They have that now or never mentality. That's what I actually seeing in Arsenal. Though sometimes I bounce there, they're not gonna win, they're not gonna win away. It's a normal thing. We talk about that. We just okay, you come for me, I come for you, but let's be realistic. This Arsenal side, it only take I doubt, I don't know. Fine. They may win the league, but it's going to be probably with a point.
Yeah.
Margaret, let me just, for us to round off this episode, the fans' reaction. By the way, where are the Chelsea fans? Chimamaka, TJ, where are you guys? You guys need to pay us. You're going to pay for missing out on this episode. Seriously, I know if you're watching this on the WhatsApp group, we'll bombard you. You're going to pay us for missing. You're going to pay a price.
I thought I'm going to see Prof. I
couldn't get across to Prof. I couldn't reach him for whatever reason. I guess maybe he's busy. I couldn't reach him. But just for us to round off this fan reaction episode for game week 29 or game week 28, thereabout. There's a noise coming from somewhere. Maybe it's from your end. So quick, Margaret, I'm starting with you. Just a minute. We're going to take one minute to answer this question. Do you think there is a perceived agenda against Arsenal? As a neutral fan, answer. So here is it. Let me provide context. Over the weekend, Man City were praised for having mentality, winning at Ellen Road against Leeds 1-0. Liverpool were praised for scoring set pieces. But Arsenal scored set pieces yesterday. It's trouble. Do you think there is a perceived agenda against Arsenal? I know this question is a whole episode on its own. We're still going to come back. But let's just touch it. Margaret, do you think there's a perceived agenda against Arsenal? As a Manchester United fan.
Okay, yes, I'm talking as a Man United fan. I'm also going to give my fair opinion. Well, I actually do not think there is any agenda against Arsenal. Maybe, okay, I don't think. Honestly, I don't think. But when something happens consistently, when a particular thing happens consistently, there's always, people are bound to talk, bound to like, this is what, without set piece, Arsenal don't win games. We've seen that in so many games, set piece. So they have to call them set piece specialists. But I don't think calling them set piece specialists actually mean there is an agenda against Arsenal. So I don't think so.
No, that's not how they put it though. They say things like we are ruining football. We are spoiling it. We are the worst champions if we win. You know,
it's the poorest. It's the poorest season. Exactly. If Arsenal wins the league, it's the poorest.
Yesterday there was the BBC.
Let me tell you. I believe that to win by all means, any means you want to win. Jose Mourinho did not play peaceful football, but he was praised for winning the league, for winning trophies. Right?
The narrative is different.
People mentioned one of the best manager in the world. Jose Mourinho will definitely be among top 20. What are you guys saying? He didn't play any beautiful football. So
no, he did
decided like we're going. Man United we know counter when it comes to
periodization.
So are you not going to say that is our own way of playing? You know, when United plays that way, they'll be able to play very well and they can get to an opponent. But Arsenal playing using set piece, I don't really see anything wrong. In that.
Okay. So I have a question to ask you. So yesterday there was a publication from BBC where it was titled Liverpool, the new kings of set pieces.
Exactly.
You know, but for us now, they were like the new Stoke. What is that? Similar to what the question said about these people trying to drive a narrative. It happens every single time. We are destroying football. When we did not score from set pieces for a couple of games,
there was no publication. There was silence.
Man United scoring set piece, Liverpool scoring set piece. But now, and
because they don't usually score set piece. They don't usually score like Arsenal. But I feel that is actually.
But you are learning off us. You are learning off us. You need to acknowledge that we have done something. We've done our jobs. You know, They need to acknowledge that Arsenal have worked on this, and it's a style of play for them. We score from multiple options. You can score from anywhere. Look at Champions League, we score. Premier League as well. I think we have the second highest open play goals in the league.
No,
I think we do second.
no,
One of
they're
them.
leading in the league. One ahead
I
of
mean, Arsenal.
what? Yep, they've scored 58 goals. Man City has scored 57.
Exactly. So you see, so I don't really understand this thing. City are not very good at set piece because they don't have good players that can strike the ball the way Rice can, the way Saka can. So that is it. Go and get players that can do it for you. I know United have you have Bruno and stuff, but other teams don't really have those players. Look at Brentford. See Coyote, like there was this goal that they scored this weekend against Burnley. The way he threw that ball, I'm like, did this guy maybe jabbing his score or something?
The Brentford Arsenal game at the GTEC Community Stadium a few weeks ago, the Coyotes throw-ins were bombs. Do you understand? Every time they had that throw-in, my heart was in my mouth. But quick one to round off. Games happening, game week 28 or game week 29, right? Happening tomorrow, starting from tomorrow. Let's quickly run through it. Predictions. Manchester United, Newcastle. Okay, Newcastle versus Manchester United. Margaret, you take. Who's winning it? Do you think Manchester United is taking the whole 3 points?
Never.
Honestly, I'm not going to lie to you. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you guys something. Every
Just a
game,
minute. Just a minute.
I don't put my mind on it. Every game that comes, all I know, okay, let me just watch United play. Whatever result, I will take it. But against Newcastle, honestly, it's a 50-50 game.
50-50. Guys, you want to say something on the Newcastle Manchester United? Your prediction?
I strongly believe that that will be a tough game. I don't know the time of day. Most likely to be, midweek fixtures are always difficult away.
It's on Wednesday.
At Wolves. Yeah, midweek. Wednesday. So Wolves for us, Brentford, it's where those. So the United players, because if you look at the Everton game, they were actually meant to lose that game. But the Man United, they have good players as well that can create something out of nothing. So I think this will be a difficult game for them. I need to see if Newcastle actually have their players back. I think Guimaraes is injured or something, so he's not actually in the mix, and that is a big miss for them. But I know them to do one thing right. They come out fighting. And this weekend, they lost the game to Everton due to a fantastic save, world-class save from Jordan Pickford, where he just pushed the ball, fantastic save from Tonali. So I think they will want to respond. So this is a bigger test for them to fight and say, yeah, we want to win this for our fans. They lost in the weekend, so they are looking to respond. So I believe Newcastle should win this one.
Okpa and Raposo, Manchester City, Nottingham Forest.
Easy win for Manchester City. Even if they need to work for the victory, I know they'll work for it and get the victory. With all due respect to Forest, I love them. I think Forest are a very, very good team, but Manchester City will tip them with the quality that they have.
Raposo.
Just to be on the Etas side, I'll go for a draw with City, City Forest. I'll go for 1-1.
Brighton Arsenal. Those are the 3 games I just wanted to talk about. Brighton Arsenal.
To be honest, that game, this is where our problems will be, 4K. Because of Brighton, they play football on the ground and they are very quick without they play. Quick football, sharp passes. And if our players want to sleep on, and they press as well. If our players want to sleep on the pitch, like we've been doing Wolves and we did yesterday against Chelsea, Brighton will expose that. Because they have players that charge. If this Minte guy plays, they have players that will close you down. Because the game at the Emirates, we're lucky to win that game actually, where I have pulled off that one class save. And so if we go there and we drop off like we did in December, I believe we can be punished. Mind you, this Brighton team drew at the Etihad with Man City.
Yeah.
So we need to. This is a very important game. This is not Wolves. We need our players thinking well. We need to capitalize in the first half, score goals, and try to win the game.
Kill off the game early.
Kill off the game exactly. That's what we have to do. I mean,
prediction.
Making subs coming.
Another thing is
Arsenal win.
Yeah, I'll go for an Arsenal win. I'll go for, based on the fact that I want them to kill off the game, I'll go for a 3-1 win because Brighton is not going to give you a low block kind of game.
Yeah,
they come out to attack. So you also need to get your own chances. When you get your chances, and I need Gyökeres to convert at least one or two.
That's a Gyökeres game. That's a Gyökeres
game. It's a kind of game for him because there will be that space to run in between the defenders.
And don't very contacts. He's not very much of a contact defender, so we can.
But they are
Manesca is a bit
dangerous. We
mobile
just
and
need to
stuff.
make
Yeah.
sure we convert. I remember last
Well
season
back,
we beat
well
them
back.
3-0 there. We beat them 3-0 there now.
Yeah.
Trossard scored like 2 goals or something.
Like 2 goals, yeah.
I think that was
Yeah,
2 seasons
so-
ago. 2 seasons
Oh,
ago.
sorry, that was 2 seasons ago. Okay. So, but we need to
I
just
can't
make sure that
remember.
whatever we are doing now, kill off the game as early as possible. So you don't allow them, come back into it at
And
all.
we need Odegaard back. We need that guy back. Honestly, we need that guy. And Mourinho that is not available is a problem. Because the Zubamendi talk we're having, if Mourinho was available, Zubamendi would have come out yesterday in the game and played the 8, instead of Zubamendi.
Yeah.
So we can be tough for Zubamendi, but I really feel for the guy from 6 to 8. After being so tired from there, you're going to play if you have to box to box.
Yeah.
So we need
Arteta should
help on our
help
side
him.
anyway.
Arteta
Exactly.
should help him.
I'll put your prediction.
Arteta is a, we know him, he's a stubborn man now. It's just
I'll
that,
put-
like you said, he's been able to help us manage the team well this season with his
Yeah.
rotations, but he should just do better. We are getting to the crunch time now. So,
Your prediction, Brighton, Arsenal.
It's an Arsenal win for me. I don't see how Brighton wants to upset Arsenal. It's an Arsenal win for me all day, every day.
Saka to score too. Saka to score. That
Well,
guy,
the
I'm
thing
worried
is-
about, like Saka.
The thing is,
I'm really worried
both
about
teams.
I think that Daniel is also thinking about his FPL team, so that's why he's naming his player.
No, honestly, these guys make or break my week. To be honest, if they lose on Wednesday, I don't think that. Oh my god.
Both Arsenal and Man City will be playing simultaneously, so there's no option of one playing ahead of one.
No, I believe.
What is
they'll
it-
be
Yeah, but
fixed
I
on
think
Wednesday.
Arsenal has played
They'll be
one
fixed
more
on
game ahead in comparison.
yeah, we have one more
Yeah.
game, man. That was the Wolves game now when we
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
It's nice doing this with you guys. Margaret's coming. Thank you for coming back on the show. We hope to see more of you. At least give us Manchester United vibes. For the Chelsea fans that didn't turn up today, well, it's understandable. After taking the L against Arsenal, yes, we understand. So our viewers watching this video, please, our journey is to get to 1K subscribers on YouTube. We're getting there. And please follow us. Follow us on our social media. We're on Instagram also. Please, you can follow us there. And also subscribe on our YouTube channel. Please, we want to make this channel grow. And we're doing the bits and pieces we can. We love talking football, as you can see us here. And it's nice doing this with you guys. Daniel, Okwe, Raposo, and Margaret. Thank you for coming to the show. Enjoy your week ahead.
Thank you. You too.